believe I got in this place.
Kmart in Lower Pottsgrove Township, Montgomery County will be closing its doors for good. Big store closing signs are now hanging outside, and a liquidation sale started on Sunday. Company officials say the store will officially close in early September. They say the closure comes as Kmart tries to reduce its expenses. The store has 65 employees. Eligible employees will receive severance and be able to apply for positions at other local Kmart or Sears locations.
Hey everybody, it's Sleeve, and for this video I am in Pottstown, PA, visiting the Liberty Ministries thrift store. But in case you couldn't tell, this is an old school Kmart. Now, as a Kmart, this store was opened in 1973 and closed in 2014, but there was one incident in 1991 that stands out in the store's history. It was back in 1991 that a wealthy man and his ex-wife were shopping for school supplies for their son, who was going to a nearby boarding school. Now, about that wealthy man, he looks kind of familiar. Kind of reminds me of a president or something. But I digress. At any rate, most of the exterior is the same as it was at the Kmart, and as we'll see on the interior, a lot of the original Kmart was left intact. You can see that the parking lot, however, could use some resurfacing. It is nice to see the diagonal parking spaces like every Kmart had, for those of us who grew up in the 70s and 80s. Now, Liberty Thrift took this location over in 2016. And the doors still automatically open. You have that carpeting in the front area. And other than adding some blue paint, not much has really changed from the original Kmart. In fact, we're going to walk further down towards what I guess would probably be the clothing section, because the layout does seem to be similar to the Westwood Kmart that we viewed at their liquidation. But can't help but notice the circular HVAC vents, a Kmart staple, and even the shelves and the clothing racks are Kmart vintage. Now, as we'll see directly ahead of us, Liberty Thrift erected a false wall. I'm guessing they are using that part of the sales floor to stage the incoming items. They come in large pallets or what have you. And of course, they have to clean the donated clothing, I'm sure of that, so gotta throw everything in the washer. But I didn't really see much of what goes behind the false wall. Did try to take a peek, as we'll see as I continue to meander. But first, the fitting rooms. Looks like it's the original to the Kmart, though I've seen some pictures online that show that used to be red. They painted blue, I guess, to match the overall motif of Liberty Thrift. And honestly, I was amazed at the selection here. This really beats the selection even at my local Goodwill, which is right next to the Stratford Bradley's, or what remains of it. As always, I like to look at the donated electronics. You never know, you might find something interesting. And of course, housewares, you always find something that is a little odd or a little out of the ordinary, and you can't go wrong by taking a look and seeing what you can find. And if I didn't know any better, I'd say some of the signage here, like the price signs and whatnot, look like they were original to the Kmart. Even that back wall area with the pegboard does remind me a lot of Kmart's of yore. At this point, I figured I'd take a look at some reading material. I figured a book would probably be a good idea for me, but also at the same time, I had to use the potty. And while I was at it, I took a peek at the water fountains and the employee break area, which seemed to be original to the Kmart. And I think even the floor tile is Kmart vintage as well. At this point, I was taking a look at what DVDs, CDs, and LPs were available for my entertainment. But eventually, I think I decided on a plain old Dead Tree Edition book. You remember those, right? Sadly, that was not a Kmart vintage cart. I did look, though. I happened to find a book about racing cars, except it was from the 1960s or maybe early 70s. This would probably be something I would find at my public school library, which had so many books that were like out of date. But it really did not hold my interest longer than just the time for me to flip through the pages. At this point, I had yet to find a book that was going to capture my interest. And I've already seen the National Geographics. And then I found Lone Survivor by Marcus Luttrell. This was later made into a movie, and it's a really compelling story. If you ever get a chance, either read the book or watch the movie. Do both. But it's a very, very compelling story, and I would suggest anyone who values your freedom as an American to read what one American military member had to do. And now I figured I was done with books, but I did have a little curiosity as it came to the recorded media, see if maybe there are some albums I might be interested in. Spoiler alert, there wasn't any. But you never know unless you look. And then, of course, I'd look at the movies and holiday memorabilia and whatnot. And A lot of interesting movies, but nothing I really felt compelled to take with me. And then I kind of meandered towards the opposite end of the store. Obviously, there's another false wall erected, probably where the K Cafe was, or maybe this was the garden center. I think this is the garden center side, because we're coming up on, peeking over to behind the false wall. And no, that's not a former Kmart shopping cart there. Wish it was, though. I had the feeling I probably shouldn't meander too far in here, but I just had to check this area out. Obviously, the carpet is probably covering up something that used to be here. The closer I got to the back wall, the more I realized what this was. This was the Kmart Auto Center. The bricked in areas, as we can see here, are the garage bays. Now, a lot of this over here was already sold items because they're large, probably waiting for someone with a pickup truck to come in to haul them off. And it looks like the former Kmart pharmacy, with cases probably from either sporting goods or jewelry surrounding it to kind of repurpose this area. Overall, I think they did a pretty good job of repurposing the former Kmart. Of course, the register area was a lot different from how Kmart used to do it, and so now I'm stuck in a line, but it could be worse. I'm in a Kmart, and well, they knew I was coming, so they have all kinds of gewgaws and gadgets and candy and treats for me to deny myself, which I did, thankfully, as I'm waiting. And I had some Christmas ornaments, because again, this was a day after Thanksgiving when I showed up, so Christmas season was just starting up. And while we're stuck in line, a last minute Christmas CD. Yep, I think I'll go with that. Just a ticket to listen to while driving through the snow. And nope, not another Kmart cart. I didn't see any Kmart carts here, which kind of wished I would have found, but other than that, of course, the folks here in Pottstown were really nice. Got into some conversations while waiting in line, and I must say, there's something about the smaller towns outside of our large cities like Philadelphia. When you get out in the small town area, the people are just so friendly. They really are. And I decided against that. I thought about getting a Christmas movie, but nah, I think I have enough at home. And I didn't know what that was. Yeah, sometimes you see those movies and they're like, some name you never heard of, some movie title you never heard of, and you're like, what is that? And then I'm also looking at jewelry. And while I'm waiting, I was tempted by the candy, but then I figured I was going to go check out a supermarket just next door. Hint, hint. And so I figured I'd lay off the sweets for a little bit. And we're getting a little closer and closer. And eventually, I'll make my way up to the front. But in the meantime, I had to say that they did a great job with this place. And I would definitely return to this store if I ever make my way back to the Pottstown area. Just something about Christmas shopping in a Kmart again just makes me feel like I'm young again, like I'm a kid. And I guess that's what we all hope for. Go back to our younger days when things were just a lot simpler, weren't they? Yeah, they were. But in the meantime, it's nice to meet nice people, and it's nice to be in a small town. Okay, I guess I gotta wait. Oh, there's my checkout, and I pay with cash, so we're not going to blip through the payment part of this. But I gotta say that plastic bags, I miss those. Actually, since you'll see this video after Christmas, I'm gonna tell you something. My mom has hoarded up plastic bags from stores back before the bag ban, and she'd use them for baby diapers, for if the dog should accidentally leave a pyramid in the back room, what have you. And so she asked me if in my travels I could come up with some plastic bags for her. Well, I went on Amazon and bought her 350 plastic bags for about $16. Wrapped them up, and that was her Christmas gift. Well, a gag gift. But anyway, that should do it for us here at Liberty Ministries Thrift in Pottstown, PA. As always, like, share, subscribe, comment, ring the bell, tell a friend. Gotta get something out of my eye here. Have a great day, and I shall see you on the next video. Bye for now, folks.
Kmart is your name. Yes, it is. You need value, face to face. Kmart sells great merchandise. You're gonna get value at a low, low price. Here at my place, you know you're gonna get more. Get more. My 7 places got a lot of value in store.
The new Solon Kmart will celebrate its grand opening starting Thursday. Hundreds of grand opening specials await you at this and all Cleveland.